Hello and welcome to another episode of Outsuit. Today we're going to talk about Salesforce.com's amazing development platform called Force.com. And with me I have Jeff Moloughney down in Los Angeles.
Hello everybody.
And from Salesforce headquarters in San Francisco we have Will Spendlove. Welcome, Will.
Thank you. Hello everyone.
Why don't we start with a quick overview from you, Will. What is Force.com? How did that come about? How did it evolve? What is it good for today?
Well, yeah, I think the Force.com platform and the Salesforce platform, it's the history behind it is actually kind of simple. Our founders, Parker Harris and Mark Benioff, were working at Oracle, and they wanted to do something different and create a sales tool, a relationship tool that was based in the cloud, and that was back in the late 90s. And so they built a platform, and in the platform, it allowed things like easy creation of drop-down pick lists and workflows and adding content very easily and modifying that content easily. And they made it so that any Salesforce or sales administrator could go in and quickly modify the tool to work for their needs. So when they built this platform and then created this customer resource management tool on top of it, they recognized, wow, this platform is much more robust than we thought. Let's start trying other products on it. And now today, 15, 18 years later, we have some of the largest products in the world on the Salesforce platform, like our Service Cloud, our Sales Cloud, etc.
So it's an easier to use platform, almost a drag and drop feeling that you get when you engage with it as a developer.
Absolutely, yeah. So people use the Salesforce platform in different ways, but the whole concept of the platform really was to build something where you don't have to be a developer in order to customize and add fields and add contact records. It makes it so you just have a little training on how to administer it, and then you can go and just do anything.
It's amazing. So, Jeff, BMC Software built Remedyforce on Force.com.
Yeah, we did, and we're really successful in the Remedyforce business, and what we did was just what Will explained. They started out obviously with CRM, their sales, their marketing, and their customer service. What we did from a BMC perspective is we wanted to rethink how an IT service management application could be used and deployed in the cloud. So that's why we chose to have that strategic partnership with Salesforce. And we did the same thing as sales and marketing customer service, just we just built different features and functionalities and workflows and processes and analysis for our service management market. So it was great because we've been in business for well over a couple of decades building service management solutions. We just completely rethought how that service management solution could be built with the help of the Salesforce platform and built it in a matter of months to put it out in the market. Now 3 years later we have well over 500 customers using our service management solution called Remedyforce.
So you didn't just port Remedy onto another platform, you actually took a fresh look at it.
No, we took a fresh look at it, and that was probably a great part about the platform for not just us as an ISV, but for any other partner of Salesforce, is you can rethink how an existing, mostly an on-premise type application has been designed in the past and learn from sort of the, I don't want to say mistakes, but learn from some sort of the issues that you hit in on-premise and completely redesign it using newer, fresher tools built for purpose in the cloud.
Well, Salesforce.com is a big, very successful company, and its Force platform has been around for a while, and really, I've seen it grow up, if you will.
Yeah.
But you're not the only game in town. There are other solutions out there, maybe not as good, maybe not as old, maybe not have all the functionality, but there's competition. Why is Force.com different?
So I think the real question is a lot of companies today want to create their own platforms. So we could there's a list a mile long of companies that have platforms that they have built to support their cloud or on-premise solutions, and then they want to bring customers to the platform. So the really unique part of Salesforce is that we provide the ability to save your customer and your employee data together and then utilize that customer data throughout your entire organization. So that's what really makes us unique, is that your sales team and your service team need that customer data in order to do their jobs, and then a lot of the other functions with the organization want to leverage that data in a really easy to use platform. So the nice part about Salesforce, and the reason why it makes it really unique and powerful, is that we're already capturing some of the key data that people want, right? We're capturing the customer and the employee data, and other platforms don't capture that basic data, or they require extra steps. So an example is our favorite competitor, ServiceNow. ServiceNow has IT data, but they don't really have a lot of customer data. So it requires a lot more gathering of information, versus when we use the information from the platform, it's easy to gather because all of your employees, all your sales teams, all your services teams are using it. So it's really more about utilization than the actual technology on the back end.
That's interesting. So if I then, so I have my CRM app, I have my IT support app, I might have other apps, I might have my ERP or supply chain app there. The beauty of it, if I understand you right, is that the data is federated. It is in one place. You can then use that and even build additional apps on top of it because you have one single source.
You're absolutely right, and that's kind of the whole focus of Salesforce over the last 4 or 5 years. Is we have this platform, we have a place to gather the data, which now so many of our global customers have their data residing there. So the next step, as you were saying, Alf, it's let's now create more ways to access and utilize that data. So we've created really easy APIs and connectors for things like SAP or other products out there or solutions that need to access or get or manage that data. We have easy APIs or connectors so that your ERP, let's just say you're an SAP ERP user, your information can be shared and utilized within the platform. So to make it even easier now, we have made the ability for partners such as BMC to come on and actually develop their solution directly on the platform. So what that means then is you don't have that extra layer of kind of one system talking to another. You just have an ERP or a help desk or accounting app that resides directly on the platform. So it just shares data without the potential for confusion if it's using APIs. So.
And Jeff, how do BMC and Remedyforce take advantage of all this wonderful technology?
Yeah, it's a good question, and kind of into that data capture and that interaction that Will is talking about. Is Salesforce makes it very easy for any type of team, whether it's sales or marketing or customer service, in our case, whether it's in the service desk, to capture that data, utilize that data, but probably most importantly, interact that data with the customers. So the Salesforce platform gives you a really sort of modern approach, a more collaborative approach of connecting that individual, whether it's sales or marketing, in our case the service desk, to collaborate and interact with the customers. So what we really leverage is the tools that are provided on that platform. So things like social collaboration through Chatter, right? So that we use it internally at BMC to kind of interconnect and to discuss and interact with individuals around BMC. We use that same tool or that same Chatter tool for have our service desk connect with their customers, their employees that they're supporting, or things like mobile, or things like self-service, or those web portals. Salesforce provides all of these tools that make it easy, in our case, for the service desk to really interact and collaborate and connect with their customers, who happen to commonly be the employees of any company out there.
You talked about social, and there's right now a big trend in social, mobile. We talk about sensors, robots. There's a lot of interesting things happening right now. What's the next for Force.com? There's a mobile app API. I can imagine you can mobilize whatever app you have, if I understand it correctly. That,
yeah,
and what else?
there's actually we currently have various mobile, the ability to access with Salesforce. You can access it through a mobile device. We have a Salesforce app that's accessible through various types of mobile devices. We have what we call, you talked a little bit about social, we have a app called Chatter. And our Chatter app at Salesforce allows employees to talk with each other, but I mean, there's all kinds of solutions out there that allow you to chat, right? I mean, you can look at various IM vendors, you can look at various business type chatting like Yammer. What makes Chatter really unique is that it takes the best of many different collaboration concepts and puts them into one area. So for instance, you have the ability to chat with people, you have the ability to share and do document reviews similar to a SharePoint, but then it also allows you to pull users into, as we talked about before, the data that resides within Salesforce. So for instance, let's say you as a sales, service, and marketing team all want to talk about a particular customer. You can pull all of these people into either the customer record or into a separate Chatter area and share conversations, share data, share quotes, share service issues, like if there's a red account. You can share marketing campaigns with each other. And with Remedyforce, you could share incidents or you could share changes. And together as a team, you pull marketing and sales and services and support all into a Chatter group together to discuss specific customers, specific incidents, specific accounts. So it really does expand the way that you socially connect. And you can do that not only through a desktop or a laptop, but now you can do that in real time through any mobile device. So it really stops kind of the using email to connect about things, and it lets you real time chat and discuss and view what's happening with customers or with processes. So,
do we have a social media aspect of Remedyforce up and running, Jeff? And if so, is there a use case you can share, make it come alive?
Yeah, specifically on the Chatter is we leverage that tool. We've leveraged that tool for quite a long time in Remedyforce. But what Will pointed out, the groups, and that's a great way, right? Groups is a way of taking multiple people, multiple entities, and sort of centralizing them in one store of location. So it's this ultra, what we deem as an external knowledge base, right? We've had this external knowledge base concept, and it's fairly static. It's not really dynamic, and it's not really updated. That's always been the problem that we've had with sort of knowledge around IT. But with Chatter, we use the group functionality, and we specifically add in this thing called #HelpMe. And what that allows is for individuals like us to connect with our peers or even the service desk when an issue happens or when a request happens. So you can put hashtag anything. You could put hashtag Dell printer, you could put hashtag iPhone, you could put hashtag Samsung Galaxy, and what that does is that sort of brings the community around each of these entities into one large group so that you can solve issues, you can ask questions, you can figure out information about a particular IT entity. So that's a sort of an example of how we use Chatter throughout the solution, and a lot of people are adopting that, because just like we go to Twitter to hashtag something around the world to find out more information about it, we can do the same thing around IT entities and bring sort of that peer-to-peer support or that peer to sort of IT service desk support in a much more fluid and a much more dynamic way than what we've used to in the past with more static tools, sort of outdated information, and tools that quite honestly weren't adopted around our companies.
It's interesting to see how this is beyond just technology. It changes our relationship to technology. It changes how we interact with it, how we respond to it, how it responds to us, and in ways that are fairly new. It's been a very interesting discussion. Before we leave, Will, could you share with us a little bit what's next for Force.com? What's the direction?
So I'll give you a tiny little preview, but I don't want to ruin the surprise.
Is that you don't want us to not come to Dreamforce, right?
That's exactly it. I don't want to get fired. So we have an exciting announcement that we'll be making at our Dreamforce conference in November. But as a tiny bit of a preview to that, it's basically exactly what we've been talking about the last 5 minutes. It's our next version of what a mobile and social solution can look like. So kind of just as a little precursor, think of Salesforce meets Facebook, and you'll get a really good understanding of kind of how we're going to engage with our users in the future, with allowing really easy access to apps like Remedyforce that will simply create a fun and engaging user experience through mobile. And we're going to start defocusing a little on our desktop and laptop strategy and really focus strongly on our mobile strategy. So it's going to be pretty exciting.
Sounds fantastic. Jeff and I will be at Dreamforce with bells on.
Good.
I hope to meet you there. Thank you, gentlemen. It was wonderful to have you in the zoo. Hopefully we can do this again another time. Until then, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.